Hello and welcome to Uncommon Reader. I'm Daniela, and in this video I'm taking you along my week getaway between Slovenia, Italy and Austria. My sister and I set base in Kranjska Gora, Slovenia, most famous for being a premier winter sports destination. It annually hosts competitions of the Alpine Ski World Cup. But Kranjska Gora is quite a popular destination for summer vacations too, thanks to its natural beauties. We started with a stroll downtown, loving the flower decorations all around. So that's for you to enjoy too. Taking a little break from all the beautiful scenery, I decided to show you all the books that I brought with me on vacation. Tracy was asking me, so why not sharing with you? After all, this is a BookTube channel. So I brought way too many books that I can chew, but I really wanted to have some variety and depending on my mood. So I have with me a few books. So the first one I want to show you is the first book that I'm reading in French. The title is The Little Revolutions of a French Lady in Tehran. This is a new release. I bought it in Paris in May and it's not yet translated in English. I'm so happy because this is really the right book for me to start approaching the French language while reading, because the language is quite simple. I'm really happy that I can understand most of it, and some words that I might not know the meaning, seeing them separately within a phrase, they really make sense. So I'm pretty happy. And this is a story of a 40-year-old woman who discovers she has Iranian origins, and so she goes off to Tehran and meets for the first time her grandparent and discovers how life has changed in Iran after the 79 Islamic Revolution. Not that she knew anything about what it was like before, but her mom, let's say, she never shared much about her childhood because when she left, right after Khomeini went to power, she didn't have any communications with her dad. And also she didn't tell her mom she was going to Tehran because her mom has still some issues after leaving Tehran, so she doesn't want to talk about anything related to Iran. Pretty interesting so far, but on the light side. Americana. Oh, yes, I brought it with me. It's in my TBR for July and August. I hope I can make it through. I do have a couple of books that I want to finish this month though, so I hope I can at least start it. I've talked about this book, I believe, in a recent book chat, but I'm not sure. I bought this last year in North Carolina, and this is a story of course, an immigrant, and Ife Melu is a Nigerian lady who moves to America. And despite her academic success, she's forced to grapple with what it means to be Black for the first time. Quite thoughtful Binze, who is her love interest, had hoped to join her, but with post 9/11 America close to him, he instead plunges into a dangerous, undocumented life in London. At once powerful and tender, Americana is a remarkable novel of race, love, and identity by the award-winning writer Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. So for my library book club, we're reading The Sunshine Company Cruise. The Italian title is The Usual Suspects. And this is a story of a heist planned by older ladies. It's fun. A little too vulgar for my taste, but still enjoyable, like all John Niven's books. So I brought with me also Simone de Beauvoir with The Prime of Life. This is the second autobiographical book. I'm reading like maybe 10 pages every other day. Being a memoir is really intense and full with the experiences, so I'm really taking this slow. I don't have a rush to finish it. Also, I am making a lot of marks and highlighting passages, especially when it turns to her relationship with Jean-Paul Sartre, and also some thoughts and reflections about life and the way she's sort of developing her personality and her activism as well. Last but not least, what about this mammoth? This has more than 1,000 pages. I will talk about this book in the future, because I'll be doing a tag about mammoth books. And the title you can sort of hint, it's Digression in English. This is the sequel of another book by this author, Gianmarco Griffi, called Mexican Railway, which was another mammoth I read last year and totally loved. This author is such a visionary. As you can see, I'm sort of making marks on a few passages. The language is very sophisticated, and sometimes I have to read things twice because it's so contorted the way he thinks, but also funny. So it's a mix of poetry, of funny stories. The style of this writer really hooks you in. At least I enjoy his style. It's not an easy one. I brought this with me, Alda Merini. I wanted to feature her in Poetry Thursday video pretty soon. So I brought with me this little book that has such lovely illustrations. Very simple, but pretty cute. Let me see. Yeah, very simple. But these are some thoughts and magic from Alda Merini, who was one of the most important poets of Italian 20th century. So I need to do some research on her life, because she had a very dramatic life. She lived in a mental institution for a while, but her poetry is much loved by Italians. So I will hopefully very soon share with you some of her poems. That's it. Let's return to nature. Most mornings we'd go for a walk. There are so many parks around Kranitska Gora and plenty of bike roads too.
Being in the shade was such a relief, and I would have loved to sit down by these trees with a book, but my sis has a mind of her own, and you can never win with her autism. So I adjusted to her rhythms and enjoyed the ride nonetheless. I could not miss visiting my adored Fusine Lakes, which sits in Italy so close to the Slovenian border. I was here last year in May and enjoyed the off-season solitude, sharing better images of this area during that visit in another Getaway video, and if you're curious, the link is in the description box. These images won't pay justice to the stunning mountains, the air being constantly sort of hazy due to the high temperatures. This time I discovered that there is a lake in Kranjska Gora too. Lake Jasna is just lovely and offers not just a place for a walk to admire the mountains, but also swimming and sunbathing. Time to cross yet another border. Austria is also close by, and within a 35-minute drive, we were in Felden, another beautiful lake destination. I visited Felden a couple of years ago during their popular Christmas markets. It was lovely to see it during the summer. The flowers in bloom add such charm, and they remain a beloved theme throughout.
The last day, it's time to go back, but before my final greetings, I have to share a little special moment we had with Angelina of Books Do Things to Me, a booktuber that I met in Kranjska Gora. She came to visit me from her town. So let's see this little video that we shot together. Hi guys!
Hi guys!
I'm here with Angelina from Books Do Things to Me.
And I'm here with Daniela from Uncommon Reader.
And we are in Kranjska Gora, meeting halfway. I live in Italy, in Friuli Venezia Giulia.
And I live in Slovenia, in Ljubljana, but we are not in Ljubljana today.
We are in Kranjska Gora, which is a beautiful town, but there is one big thing that we don't like.
There is no bookstore here.
No books. No bookstore. So we have a official complaint to the city of Kranjska Gora. Okay, we need a bookstore.
Yeah. But we are discussing books, and we are very glad to have met each other.
Yeah.
And Angelina was so sweet, gifting me this book by a Slovenian author. And this book contains a lot of elements that I love. It's a historical novel, and let me read what it is about, so I'll point out the things that interest me the most. Alamut is a brilliant paradox, a 20th century Slovenian novelist living in Trieste, in Italy, really close to where I live, drew characters from the 11th century Persia, I love Persia, and wove an allegory of the fascism engulfing Europe at the dawn of the World War II. In the 21st century, in a triumph of metathesis, an anachronism worthy of Jorge Luis Borges, the allegory has become more real than the events it portrayed. This masterpiece, admired enough to be translated into 19 languages, a bestseller throughout Western Europe, and an inspiration for video games, has never had its moments in English. Now, thanks to a sparkling translation by Michael Biggins, Alamut is available to a whole new audience. If you want to know how suicide bombers are being cultivated in Basra and Hebron, even as you read these words, if you want to learn the true story behind the 72 virgins awaiting Al-Qaeda's martyrs in paradise, Alamut is the training manual. Bartol tells us who those women are, how they got there, and why young men are willing to die for their company. So Angelina and I are going to be doing a buddy read with this book next year, though. We have a few plans before, but I'm really looking forward to dive into this book. So what an ending to this video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon here on Uncommon Reader. In the meantime, happy reading. Ciao.